Aliens deserted a broken starship on Earth. Humans turned it into a galactic megaweapon. The Zephyrian scout ship Veltar had been nothing more than a hulking piece of interstellar scrap when it crash-landed in the Sahara Desert 3 years ago. Its crew, stranded and desperate, had transmitted a distress signal across the galaxy before abandoning their vessel to seek refuge among Earth's primitive inhabitants. To them, the ship was worthless, its quantum drives fried, navigation systems corrupted and hull breached in 17 places. The Zephyrians had underestimated humanity. Dr. Sarah Chen stood before the transformed vessel, now designated as Terra Station 1, and marveled at what human ingenuity had accomplished. Where alien eyes saw irreparable damage, human engineers saw opportunity. The crashed ship had become the foundation for something unprecedented in galactic history. Status report. Commander Rodriguez, Sarah called out as she entered the command center, formerly the ship's cargo bay. Commander Miguel Rodriguez turned from a bank of monitors that definitely hadn't been part of the original Zephyrian design. All systems green, Dr. Chen. The fusion reactors are running at optimal efficiency and the gravitational field generators are calibrated perfectly. Sarah nodded, still amazed by their achievement. When the world's governments had pooled resources to study the alien wreck, nobody had imagined they would end up building the most powerful weapon the galaxy had ever seen. The humans had done what the Zephyrians thought impossible. They had fixed the unfixable, but they hadn't stopped there. The original quantum drives had been replaced with a hybrid, fusion antimatter propulsion system that could accelerate the ship to previously unimaginable speeds. The navigation computers now ran on quantum processors reverse-engineered from the alien technology and improved with human innovation. Most importantly, the ship's new primary weapon was something that had never existed before. A gravitational wave cannon capable of tearing apart matter at the subatomic level. "Sir," called out Lieutenant Park from the communications station, "we're receiving transmission from the Galactic Council fleet. They're demanding our immediate surrender." Sarah and Rodriguez exchanged glances. 3 months ago, when humanity had announced their successful restoration of the Zephyrian vessel, the galactic community had been dismissive. A primitive species couldn't possibly comprehend technology millions of years more advanced than their own. When Earth had politely declined to hand over the ship, the Council had laughed. They weren't laughing anymore. The first Council enforcement ship had arrived 2 weeks ago, expecting to find a barely functional wreck crewed by confused humans. Instead, they discovered a gleaming fortress bristling with weapons that registered as impossible on their sensors. The ship had fled immediately, broadcasting warnings throughout Council space about Earth's miraculous technological advancement. "Put them through," Sarah ordered. The main screen flickered to life, showing High Counselor Vexhai, a towering insectoid being whose mandibles clicked with agitation. "Humans," the alien began, its translation device rendering the words with obvious disdain. "You possess technology beyond your civilization's development level. This violates galactic development protocols. Surrender the vessel immediately." Sarah stepped forward. "High Counselor, this vessel was abandoned on our world. Under salvage rights recognized even by your own council, it belongs to us now." "Impossible," Vexhai's compound eyes blazed. "The Veltar was beyond repair. Our best engineers confirmed this before evacuation." "Your engineers lacked imagination," Sarah replied calmly. "We saw potential where you saw problems. We found solutions where you found limitations." Rodriguez leaned closer to Sarah and whispered, "Long-range sensors are detecting 12 more Council ships approaching. They'll be here within the hour." Sarah nodded almost imperceptibly, then addressed the screen again. "High Counselor, we've studied your Council's history. For 3 million years, you've maintained peace through technological superiority and careful resource management. But you've also grown complacent. You dare lecture the Council on your species stopped innovating millennia ago," Sarah continued. "You perfected your technology and then stopped pushing boundaries. You became maintainers instead of creators. Humanity is different. We break things to understand them. We fail spectacularly and try again. We see impossibility as a challenge, not a limitation." The tactical display lit up as Rodriguez's team tracked the approaching fleet. 13 ships now, each one a dreadnought-class vessel capable of reducing a planet to asteroid debris. "Dr. Chen," Rodriguez said quietly, "they're powering weapons." Sarah smiled. "High Counselor, Let me demonstrate the difference between maintenance and innovation. She nodded to Rodriguez, who activated the gravitational wave cannon. The weapon, built into the ship's modified hull, drew power from 3 fusion reactors and the quantum field generators they'd reverse-engineered from the original drive system. But the targeting system, the focusing array, and the amplification matrix were purely human innovations. The first pulse struck the lead Council ship at the speed of light. The vessel's shields, technology the Council considered impenetrable, rippled like water before collapsing entirely. The second pulse hit the ship's hull, and where it struck, molecular bonds simply ceased to exist. The massive dreadnought crumpled like paper in a hurricane. The remaining 12 ships opened fire simultaneously, their energy beams converging on Terra Station 1. But the humans had learned from studying the Zephyrian defensive systems. The gravitational field generators didn't just provide propulsion, they created a defensive bubble that bent space-time around the ship. The Council's weapons passed harmlessly through warped space, striking empty void. Impossible, Vexi whispered. You keep using that word, Sarah said. We don't think it means what you think it means. The battle lasted 17 minutes. When it ended, 12 of the galaxy's most advanced warships drifted powerless in space, their crews alive but their vessels completely disabled by weapons that rewrote the fundamental rules of space combat. The Council has ruled this galaxy for 3 million years, Sarah said to the silent screen. You've forgotten that technology isn't just about what works, it's about what's possible. You handed us a broken ship and expected us to be grateful for the privilege of studying it. She gestured to the transformed vessel around them. Instead, we turned your discarded failure into something that makes your entire fleet obsolete. This is what humans do, High Counselor. We take your impossibilities and make them into everyday realities. The transmission ended as Rodriguez reported that the Council ships were beginning to retreat. Sarah walked to the observation deck, looking out at the stars that no longer seemed so distant. 3 years ago, humanity had been alone in the cosmos. Today, they had become the galaxy's newest power, not through conquest or intimidation, but through the simple human refusal to accept that anything was truly impossible. The Zephyrians had left them broken technology. Humanity had returned the favor with a broken status quo, and across the galaxy, civilizations that had grown comfortable with their technological limitations began to realize that the most dangerous force in the universe wasn't superior firepower or advanced science, it was human imagination unleashed.